The Tommy Campbell Show. Donald Trump did not get a break from the trolling this week. His trip to the UK was riddled with mockery, while California Governor Gavin Newsom kept the trolling rolling stateside in a wild week that had Trump's team going after Jimmy Kimmel because Donald Trump's a thin-skinned orange baby that wants to have total control over the media. ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely after his remarks about reaction to the death of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. While the network described the move as a programming decision, it's not too hard to call BS since Trump had previously called for the comedian to lose his gig, and the timing suggests there's a lot more to the story. Two of ABC's largest affiliate groups, Nexstar Media Group and Sinclair Broadcast Group, quickly pulled the show from their lineups. Nexstar said the comments were out of step with its local communities, while Sinclair demanded an apology and a donation to Kirk's family before considering reinstatement. For those not aware, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr was first nominated by Trump in 2017 to be a commissioner at the FCC. In November 2024, Trump, then president-elect, announced that Carr would be designated as chairman of the FCC. He officially assumed the chairmanship when Trump was sworn in, and Carr was also a co-author of Project 2025 and so much of a loyalist that he wears a Trump gold pin. For reals.
And I banned all government censorship and restored free speech in America. We have free speech. We didn't have free speech.
And let's not forget that when Space Karen took over Twitter, he declared that comedy was finally legal again. But my account and many others are still suppressed. Trump said free speech is restored, Elon said comedy is finally legal, and he also posted this calling Kimmel disgusting, hoping to get rid of one of the most loved late-night hosts of all time. Also, finally legal sounds like the name of a Trump-made dating app. Subscribe. Brendan Carr publicly criticized Kimmel and warned of potential scrutiny. His statements carried added weight as Nexstar seeks federal approval for a $6.2 billion merger with Tegna that would give it control of nearly 80% of the U.S. television market, well above the FCC's ownership cap. The deal cannot move forward without regulatory sign-off. Newsom dug up this post from 2022 by Brendan Carr, again noting this aged well. President Biden is right. Political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people into the discussion. That's why people in influential positions have always targeted it for censorship. This aged well. Affiliate pullouts, regulatory threats, and ABC's decision shows that Kimmel's suspension was about more than Kimmel chiming in on a major event, something we do as comedians. And again, his comments were not disparaging or glorifying. It was more about MAGA and Trump's reaction. 2 days before Kimmel, on this independent show, I touched on the same Trump already over at Ballroom clip. This is not about a single monologue. It's about Trump silencing critics and how political pressure and corporate consolidation can shape what is seen on television. Brendan Carr called Kimmel's comments some of the, and I quote, sickest conduct possible. Everyone has seen Kimmel's monologue, and his comments were far from harsh. And prior to the show, he made a heartfelt post on social media. I've been flooded with messages ever since this happened because I'm a comedian and I make a show, an independent one. But that doesn't make me invincible. These people are cowards. They can't handle a mockery. They try and cancel everything from Lightyear to Taylor Swift, but we're the snowflakes. It's important to point out that the network did not use the word fired, though wannabe dictator Donald Trump praised the move on his dumpster fire social network and claimed Kimmel had been sacked. Fox must suspend Garbage Greg Gutfeld ASAP. Not only does he need a fake laugh track, he makes things up, is not funny, and gets so easily triggered, like a snowflake when Jessica Just the Facts Tarlov speaks. Fox should suspend him immediately. Send him to News Nation, Nexstar, where his jokes belong with the other failures. Ratings crashing, people begging for it to stop. Fox, do the right thing or I will make the FCC take care of you. Final warning, GCN. Okay, that's more amusing than anything Greg Gutfeld has ever said. I mean, Dozy Dawn looks awful recently. The hands is lying on live television. His so-called FCC chair, Brendan Carr, must immediately apply the made-up Jimmy Kimmel rule and kick Trump off TV. Let's go, Brendan, GCN.
that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill him.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right.
Yes, the same week Jimmy joked about Trump's reaction, Brian Kilmeade was out there solving the problem with the people on the streets. Put them down? Like, wherever I have lived, people complain about the homeless. And I just say, what is your solution? Honestly, I mean, what do you propose? Because it is a super hard and complex issue. But I've yet to hear anyone just say, maybe we'll just put him down like one of Kristi Noem's dogs. Also, yes, Fox News settled a defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems for $787.5 million in April of 2023, acknowledging that there were repeated claims about Dominion that were false. So don't try and be preachy about inaccurate reporting. JD Vance was recently trolled to bits in the UK with epic signage, this hilarious notice board sign that I love, and wonderful pub staff that bonded together and refused to serve the guy that called for the rehiring of someone that tweeted, "Normalize Indian hate." Wait, isn't his wife? Okay, so Trump told JD to stay home, but that didn't stop England from laying into Just Dance Vance with a crowd bouncing around these epic meme balls. Again, points for creativity.
Gretchen, we are happy to send the National Guard to Detroit, Michigan. All you got to do is ask.
So you can't send in the Guard without the governor's approval after all. Got it. Angela Morabito tried to champion Trump with these images. No one else has the range, to which Gavin Newsom went savage, saying, the range in question? Epstein and Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call that freak. Well, the signs were out for Trump in full force. I pray that Big Beautiful Bill will be the name of Trump's cellmate in prison. Oh, fantastic. Love it. I made this show without any sponsors thanks to your tips, channel memberships, and merch. Please throw me what you can to keep this show going. The statue of taking liberties. I bet we'll see a few of those at Halloween. Trump, go away, you vile, sleazy little man. Nailed it. Orange Lives Matter. Trump Dalek with the Secret Service. Anything Doctor Who is just awesome. I was lucky enough to be on an episode of that show. Even a horse took a dump in front of Trump and Melanie. Right in front of them. There you go. Perfect. But when it comes to projection, the right wing have that covered. Unless we're talking images, then, wow, liberals, you are legends. Led by donkeys, focuses on art, activism, and accountability. They're publicly funded like this show. They made this happen. Along with this. Just absolutely fantastic. Inescapable. Yes, Trump could not escape the coverage, and the UK, they rock newsstands like no other. The National had this cover on his visit to Scotland, perfect, and dropped this beauty last week. 4 men were arrested after displaying the pictures of Donald Trump with Epstein. The rest was on suspicion of malicious communications. The images were part of a 9-minute-long film projected from a hotel room. So those bits you see at Windsor Castle, it wasn't just a few images, it was a 9-minute piece that they projected. There's me at Windsor Castle back in the day. Meanwhile, at Windsor Castle this morning, could be from his spray tan, could be from the eggs hitting his big dumb head.
The elephant in the room, Lord Mandelson, he is no longer the ambassador. Do you have some sympathy with him that he lost his job over historic links to Jeffrey Epstein? Thank you very much, sir.
I don't know him, actually. I had heard that, and I think maybe the Prime Minister would be better speaking of that. That was a choice that he made, and I don't know. What is your answer to that?
Well, I mean, it's very straightforward. Some information came to light last week which wasn't available when he was appointed, and I made a decision about it, and that's very clear.
The information that came to light was the birthday book. Lord Peter Mandelson, the ambassador, was fired for his contribution to the very same book that Trump is in. Mandelson left a 10-page note where he calls him his best pal. Starmer's really covering for Trump here. And while King Charles spoke, Trump nodded off, having another dementia dream.
The King Charles, reminds me of Andrew. Where's the prince at? He should be here. He likes to party. So fun. I should show him the concept of my finally legal app. I know he'd think it's so hot.
What is that? It's like Grimace slept with a walk. I love this one of her taking off by politics, very funny person. But I saw it as more of a lamp myself. The Swedes will figure that one out first. Still trying to pretend she's a supermodel when the best she could do was Ocean Drive magazine. In fact, the only time she made a cover, it was because she was on it as Trump's girlfriend, his fiancée, or his wife. There's as much proof of her modeling career before Donald Trump as there is of her 5 languages.
I also watch movies. And sometimes true movies where you have a bank robbery and you have six people involved, and one of the girlfriends or one of turns in. Or watch some old mafia movies. It's usually there's a leak somewhere. Somebody finally turns to not get sentencing. Someone's upset, and this could be a group of 10 or a group of 8. Look at a lot of the mafia was taken down. I don't care if there's got to be more than, it goes so wide and far.
True movies, that's a new one. Is he going for documentaries? Is that too big of a word? Is this simple Jack Lindell's way of saying nonfiction? True movies, just wow. Well, I wonder how Mike Lindell's reacting to the Kimmel cancellation. On one side, he put him in a claw machine. On the other, he was the only talk show to put him in a claw machine. Like, I bet whenever Lindell's in a mall screaming at the stores that used to sell his lumpy pillows, he swings by the corner of machines, by the restrooms, and just stares at the claw thinking of his late night glory days. He didn't dream it. It was like a true movie. Ted Cruz was at an overpass going over some graffiti critical of Kirk using a bucket of white paint. Great way to blend it in, Ted. Do you get your brush tips from MAGA? He should have gotten Kristi Noem on the phone to meet him at the side of the highway with her makeup paint gun. Of course, I had to have fun with this and help his publicity stunt to backfire since he looked like he was the one doing the graffiti. Release the Epstein files. Yes, please. Ted Cruz was born in Calgary. I like that he wrote this one twice, going for the Bart Simpson effect. I met my wife at the pound. Trump calls his wife a dog, and he still goes all in for him. Lauren Boebert dances at Lady Buns. No, Ted, she used to dance at Lady Buns. She was morning hot. She had the morning shift. Come on. Donald Trump is a tiny mushroom.
England has become a grim, sad shell of an empire. Your leaders are pathetic, your food sucks, and you haven't created a great musical artist since Morrissey. If you didn't have the accent, you would be a third world joke. I say all this knowing that I will be going to England soon, and I dare you to arrest me, you wankers, because you aren't going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
No great artist since Morrissey? Morrissey. Last time I checked, Oasis is dominating on their live 2025 tour with nothing but praise from concertgoers calling it the best show they've ever seen. And Coldplay are still very much touring. I think this couple remembers that. Suede, Pulp, Radiohead, Mumford & Sons, Adele, Ed Sheeran, Dua Lipa. What is this guy on? Okay, when I first moved to London, the food was definitely a gear change in portion sizes and quality, but that was 20 years ago. And my time there, it got better and better thanks to the popularity of your Jamie Olivers and Gordon Ramsays elevating everyday cooking. The culinary scene is booming with incredible options, as are the breweries. Shout out to my friends at Forest Road. As for the accent, my wife always points out it's called the English language. And it's not the wrong side of the road, it's the other side. And driving on the left side of the road came first, as common practice dating back to ancient times for horse riders and charioteers who were typically right-handed. They kept to the left to have their sword arm free for defense against oncoming travelers or to make greetings. Later, with the advent of large horse-drawn wagons in the 1700s and the rise of right-hand driving in France, the right side became the norm in other parts of the world, though 35% of the world's population drives on the left, including India, Thailand, Japan, Hong Kong, South Africa, Australia, Jamaica, New Zealand. Okay, there's a lot of countries that still drive on the left. Truly bizarre to see this crazy rant, especially when he says he's going to the UK. Now, I checked his site and I don't see any tour dates there. So I guess he's going for the non-existent music, awful food, and the leaders he hates so much. You, sir, are a fool and peddle lies. First off, thanks for the knighthood. Really works in this episode. I'm guessing you were going for pedal, P-E-D-D-L-E, not the thing attached to the 10-speed you used to cruise by the high school you dropped out of 20 years ago, hoping to impress the girls with your skid marks. Both kinds. I do aim to make a show that's funny and filled with facts, but we know you can't take a joke or handle the truth. MAGA tears. Not cool to mock the reporter's honest mistake. Many mix up Australia and Austria, but because they are Nearly identical. It is insulting to Australia and Austria to suggest that they are nearly identical. The man said Austria. He had a thick Austrian accent, and at no point in his broken English did she ever think, hey, maybe I got this fella wrong. This guy isn't sounding that Hugh Jackman. No, she continued the interview and later commented about talking to the Australian. The fact that you think the only thing that differs between the two countries are a couple of letters shows why we are in idiocracy territory. MAGA tears. Donald Trump didn't get a break from the trolling this week. His trip to the UK was riddled with mockery. While what is that? It's like Grimace slept with a walk. Lauren Boebert dances at Lady Buns. No, Ted, she used to dance at Lodi Buns. I think that sounds worse.
I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.